Okay. We're back with more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. I've been saying that I kind of suspect that we're close-ish to the end. I mean, if we did finish Chapter 4, and we're on Chapter 5 now, this could be the final one. Today we're not going to finish it. I'm pretty sure that the last thing that you'll do will be the trial rather than the puzzle part. Don't think we're going to end the game with a rousing edition of Upside Down Sudoku. It will probably be a trial for the finale instead. But this could be the last puzzle section, and then after this will come the last court case. We'll see. It's somewhat possible that we could finish by Thursday, although I'm not counting on it. I awoke to find myself in a forest. A moment later, I saw what looked like Ms. Fey being chased by a strange robed group. I was able to go to Miss Fey's aid just in the nick of time. Could this strange forest also be a part of Labyrinthia? We seem to have lost our pursuers for the moment. We must not squander this chance. Let us make haste, Miss Fey. Just before getting here, we broke back into the courtroom building, the court building, and found the secret passage, which is just a hole in the ground, leading from the incineration chamber down into, there's like a cart and a horse. We jumped in there as Phoenix, Espella, and Luke. So they are in a wagon headed for we don't know where. But Maya... How did Maya get here? Maya got executed during the trial, but that just meant dropping through the secret chamber. So now she was like running from these guys and just bumped into Layton, who is also alive, by the way. He's not a golden statue. We don't know why that is. Forest of Lost Way. Well, this must be the wrong way, because I'm never lost. Uh-oh. Oh. For a moment, I thought that was a game over. I touched the poison mushroom and released gas. Village outskirts. We should be safe here. Ms. Fey, are you hurt? Nope, I'm right as rain. Thank you for saving me back there. You look like you're all back to normal, Professor. Not as shiny and way more talkative. What do you mean by back to normal? You were turned into gold, Professor. Someone cast a magic spell on you. A magic spell? On me, you say? Well, let me refresh your memory. You remember that witch that appeared when we were in Mr. Belduke's house, don't you? Indeed. So you're saying that was when a magic spell was cast on me? That's right. You were super golden and super shiny. Super golden and shiny and golden. Most fascinating. Do you not remember any of that? Sadly, I do not. To tell you the truth, I have no recollection of what happened to me then. It seems I lost consciousness immediately after the witch appeared. Then he must know what's going on. And when I regained consciousness, I was already in this forest. So that's interesting. I was kind of under the impression that what was actually going to happen was that golden statue was not him. That somebody made a golden statue and did a swapperoo. But I think I was thinking outside of the magic box. The entire game takes place in the magic box. Huh. So then, do you think maybe they carried you here after the trial? After the trial? Then that must mean... Yep. You were the unfortunate victim of witchcraft in that trial, Professor. How extraordinary. Ms. Fay, could you please bring me up to date on everything that happened after my disappearance? What about Luke and Mr. Wright? Are they okay? I recall Luke and I heading to Sir Belduke's house. We thought you and Mr. Wright were in danger.
Yeah, I think they're all right. So much has happened. Where do I even start?
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say that one of my arms broke off? Are you memeing me?
Yep, the right arm, Snappo.
And so, Ms. Fay, you were charged with using magic?
Yep, that's right. And then Luke cried his little eyes out, and then the parrot on Luke's head testified its little beak off.
That must have been quite the sight. But I must say, this situation has certainly piqued my interest. I see. My apologies, Miss Fay. Had I had the strength at the time, I could have been of more help.
I wasn't unconscious yet. I am much stronger while unconscious. No way, Professor. You just saved me a moment ago.
And quite the close call it was. By the way, Miss Fay, why are you in this forest?
That is a very good question. Nick managed to prove my innocence, but I still ended up being thrown in the fire.
You were found innocent, yet still sent to the fire.
Well, anyways, so much weird stuff has happened since then.
It would seem so, yes.
But it's strange. There must have been more to that cage I was trapped in, like a trick or something.
A trick? You mean a puzzle?
Yeah, the cage dropped down through the chamber and then came to a stop just above a wagon. That wagon was how I ended up here.
It would seem there is more to that fire chamber than I originally thought.
Then when I saw those things, I tried to get away. But as you saw back there, they found me. I thought I was a goner.
And that is when I appeared, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Is something the matter, Miss Fay?
It's Nick. He must be worried sick. I mean, I was thrown into the fire right before his eyes.
Yes, I'm also concerned about Luke. However, I believe Luke and Mr. Wright are certain to sense something is amiss and solve this mystery. We're sure to all meet up again soon.
Yeah, you're right, Professor.
For the time being, let's investigate this place as much as possible.
Investigate?
Indeed. This forest appears to be full of secrets. First, I was turned into gold and awoke to find myself here. And then you, Miss Fay, were transported here from the courtroom under the illusion of having been put to the fire. Perhaps this forest...
How could they surround us? I had Mordenkainen's magical watchdog. Sir, happy birthday for 24 minutes. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're 6 hours ahead of me. Well, happy birthday tomorrow, then. We'll wait until it's official. It's not official till it's on He-10 time. How'd they manage to find us so fast? What should we do, Professor?
It appears they were lying in ambush. I'm afraid an altercation here is unavoidable.
Alright, let me spend my skill points first. Don't put me in the fight without letting me spend my skill points. These guys look like they've been hitting the gym? They're a lot bigger than the others. They're wearing robes. You can't tell unless you mean that they're taller than the other guys, which you don't get by hitting the gem. Sorry to be the one to break it to you.
Indeed. Leave this to me. Now, please, step back, Miss Fay.
Knock him into next week, Professor. Throw the hat. Kung Lao. Now just what? Who is this? Is this going to be Darklaw? And just what is all the commotion? Oh, huh. It's Bizella. So yes, it is Darklaw. Maybe. You were given a task to carry out, were you not? So what exactly do you think you're doing? Answer me.
Forgive us, O great witch.
What? That's the witch from last time. What's she doing here? Now, isn't this a strange sight? 2 visitors from the witch trials, a victim and an accused. Strange indeed. Come again? It was your fault we were a part of those trials in the first place, you witch. Maya, language. My, this one has some fight in her. Relax. I do not plan to harm you two.
This marks the 3rd time we have now met. Tell me, what exactly are you planning?
What? Professor, you two have met 3 times?
Yes, I first met her in London. Prior to arriving in Labyrinthia, of course.
That's right. Now enough. Stand down. These 2 are considered guests. You are not to lay a finger on them, is that clear? Make sure the rest of the Shades get that message. Shades? Are they those creepy people in the weird robes?
Yes, mistress, as you command, O great witch.
Great witch?
There is no need to be alarmed. You may relax.
I'm afraid I cannot oblige. Not as long as you are here. Tell me, what are you?
You know, from what I hear, you're a big fan of solving puzzles and mysteries, are you not? If you've heard correctly, I'm a puzzle god? Actual genius? Then by all means, go ahead. You are free to investigate the Eldwitch. Come on. The Eldwitch Woods to your heart's content.
The Eldwitch Woods?
The answers to your questions are here. You're free to seek them.
Then you do not plan on having us captured?
You'll have to excuse the Shades' earlier behavior. They can be a bit overzealous at times. They were simply doing what was requested of them. Their task, as they call it. Anyone lost in these woods is to be made a member of the Shade family, as it were. A member of the Shades? What does that mean? Like I said, you should seek out the answers for yourselves. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another engagement with a visitor of mine.
A visitor?
Until next time, Professor Herschel Layton. She just walked away. That's not disappearing. No, she did disappear, I guess. 60%. I was wondering if he was gonna get to play Baba as you. I stopped him briefly towards the end of his Talos Principle stream, which it's like I've almost completely overwritten that game. Like in my mind, I didn't like the game from the beginning, when that's not true. I probably enjoyed it a lot for the first like 2 sessions or so, and then liked it less and less over time. Not that it was terrible, but it didn't help that, like, at the end that I played the prototype DLC, thinking that it was something, but it really was just the prototype for the game, where it was just all the puzzles were worse and all of the everything was worse. No, I did like some things about it, but it was, I don't think I'm a big fan of, like, I'm not as much of a fan of, well, I don't want to say I'm not a fan of 3D puzzling. I did love The Witness, clearly. But yeah, no, Talos Principle, it seemed like had, there were a bunch of things. I didn't like that there were puzzles that had, like, solutions that were unintended. Like, the fact that if you, there were at least a few difficult puzzles where after I finished, I was like, this was not what you were supposed to do. But I managed it. just by pixel perfect. I gotta move this a little more this way and a little more that way, and it would get in. Yeah, I think there were fewer puzzles where there usually wasn't like a good aha moment the way that there are with other puzzles where you go, where I would plan it out in my head and then go, I don't get it, it's impossible. Oh, I do this. They had those puzzles early on, and then later they just made them really complicated, and I wound up not liking them. Even like the tower is supposed to be like the best, right? The best puzzles are in there as you work your way up, and I didn't really like those either. That, and as I had mentioned when I was in there, apparently a lot of things in the game are references to Serious Sam and other, maybe even other things that the same developers have made, and I've never played or seen those games in my life, so I would have missed out on any of those. So, Professor, the Great Witch they mentioned. They must be referring to her, right? She has to be Bazella. The Great Witch Bazella. If that woman were her, then that would make Eldwich Woods the home of all witches. This just keeps getting curiouser and curiouser. So that means the Shades, or whatever, are witches? That is what we must find out. I believe there may be a very important clue or two hidden within this forest. There must be some reason why this forest has been kept a secret from the citizens of Labyrinthia. Do that. Okay. I also must wonder why this great witch is simply allowing us to do as we wish. It is slightly concerning. Well, there's no point in looking a gift horse in the mouth. I say we take her off her and check this place out. That way we'll rack up a ton of clues by the time we reunite with Nick. And since we'll be working together, I'll act as your temporary Luke. Right you are, Professor. Well done. Thank you very much, Miss Fay. Now then, let us begin our investigation. Yes, sir. Let's go, Professor. Alright, those were both solved, I guess? Puzzle! Hey, Soul. Isabel's father, the storyteller who writes the story that controls the fate of all Labyrinthians, considers the presence of the professor to be a form of corruption. Did we know this? Information just dropped in. It would seem that the storyteller has removed me from the story. Where is this tale of his going? Golden Layton. It was none other than the professor who supposedly having supposedly been turned to gold, who saved Maya from her fate. He says he lost consciousness after his confrontation with the Great Witch. A gold statue of me. That's something I would quite like to see with my own eyes. A puzzle. A people. A wave. A puzzle again. Nope, not a puzzle.
Dots.
Excuse me, we wanted to ask you a question real quick. Well, what exactly do you do in this forest?
We live to serve the mistress, carry out her orders, her tasks. The mistress speaks, we obey.
Tasks? Is that like your job?
Yes, my task is to assist all newly initiated shades.
Assist? Newly initiated shades? That must have something to do with what the Great Witch said earlier. Anyone lost in these woods is to be made a member of the Shade family.
Although my task is made much more difficult when they run away. Why do they always run away? Is it my creepy scarecrow voice and mask? But we will not chase after you again. It is the mistress's orders.
I see. So you do everything the Great Witch commands. Hey, I bet you guys are always fighting over the good tasks, huh? Who would want to get stuck doing the Great Witch's laundry? Seriously though, you guys were really close to turning me into a shade earlier.
Dots.
I'm seriously glad the professor came along when he did. And I'm glad he 10 was the one solving the puzzle, because that made it easy. So also, I did install and have been playing Nier Automata. Unfortunately, the crash happens in that game too, which finally means that it's not specifically Final Fantasy XIV. I've only had it happen twice in like 7 or 8, maybe not 7 or 8, several hours of playing. I don't know how many, but that I've had that same thing happen on the new computer with the new video card. That there's just a complete and total system hang out of nowhere. It could be just Square Enix games, I guess. I'm trying to remember. It did happen once, even with this, right? Where we were playing it, and the computer just completely froze. So one thing that I've done is I've rolled back to using drivers from 6 months ago, and we'll just see if that works. And if not, then who knows? Oh no, wait, we should stay here though. It said something about there's still a hidden puzzle here. It's not the tree. Is it talk to him again? No. Alright, well, I'm not gonna worry about it, I guess. Maybe you can't get it right now. Where is it? Oh, it was there. One of the alcoves is covered in vines. You know, Professor, I was thinking, you said you woke up in the forest, right? The shades were on me the minute I set foot here, but they never went after you. Why is that? That is true. I seem to recall waking up inside a cell of sorts. Did you just say a cell? How did you manage to escape? Fortunately, it was not a cell of the metallic variety, Miss Fay. Take a look over there. Do you see that entrance covered in vines? Oh, I get it. So you must have hack and slashed your way to freedom. Well, I wouldn't say I hacked or slashed anything as such. All it took was a single cut to unravel my way to freedom. Allow me to demonstrate. That's just vine. A number of intricately woven vines have formed a fence blocking the professor's path. Simply cutting one of the vines should unravel the entire fence and clear a path. Which vine should be cut? It's this one, right? Right here. Right? It's the one that makes up the middle. I hope.
Already seen the answer.
Ba-bum.
Come what may, puzzles are there to be solved.
Divine work. Haha, I see what he did there. Cutting that vine made an opening big enough to walk through. Now then, shall we press on? I guess, yeah. From your guys' perspective, the cursor it's over here, and then it goes wah onto the big screen that's on the opposite side of where it left. Oh well. Whoa, you sure showed that vine who's boss, Professor. A single precise cut is far more efficient than swinging around haphazardly. Have you been watching my Nier Automata? Speaking of swinging around haphazardly.
After I freed myself, I began to investigate the forest. Not long after that, I heard someone cry out.
Ah, yeah, you mean me.
Right you are, Miss Fay. I'm glad you were okay.
And okay I was, good sir. So, I guess you're still in the middle of that forest investigation, huh?
It would seem so. Shall we press on, then?
Yeah, it's on now. I'm gonna cut these puzzles down to size with the power of my mind. Now we can go. Shades Village East. Oh, am I gonna have to talk like them a lot? I thought they were going to be very, very minor characters, and so I gave them a difficult voice. Do you think this is where the Shades live? It looks kind of like a village.
It would appear so. They seem to lead a very simple lifestyle.
I'm gonna actual genius breeze through all these forest puzzles. I am. That's an actual quote. But they look so magical and fantastical. I figured they'd live somewhere way more, well, magical and fantastical.
Now that you mention it, they don't appear capable of using magic, do they?
I guess if they did, they'd only end up back at the witch trials.
Remember, that may be the law within Labyrinthia, but the Great Witch rules this forest. It is doubtful that such a law would exist here.
Oh, that's true. You think we should tell them to just let loose? I bet they have some really flashy spells.
Let us focus our efforts on looking around this village first. There appears to be a path leading out on the other side, too.
You know, maybe just that other shade. That other shade was doing the creepy voice, but that's just how he talks. Don't bully him. Everybody else talks normal. So how's the task going? Working hard? Oh! Task? Well, duh, of course we are. Speaking of which, what's your task? My task is to prepare food for everyone. I'm actually trying to come up with the menu for today. I wouldn't exactly call my cooking appetizing or edible, but I must do as our mistress commands. Remind us not to stop by for dinner. Did you say something? Me? Nope, not a thing. Good luck. Try not to blow up the kitchen. When you encounter but that's not something I've ever said. You are 50% on your quoting for today. All I can do is carry out my tasks the best I can, in hope that one day I may be allowed to return to the town.
Return? What do you mean?
I'm not too sure myself. It is something I was told when I arrived. The Great Witch keeps a record of all the tasks we successfully complete. Then, when our accomplishments outnumber our failures, she will consider returning us to the town. That is what I believe, and that is why I continue to toil away at my tasks. So does this mean these guys aren't witches?
From the sound of his voice, it would seem this particular shade is male. However, according to what you told me earlier, all witches here are female.
So then who exactly are these shades? Say, who are you?
My, how very direct.
A shade is a shade. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, that wasn't really helpful.
Perhaps you can tell us what your particular task is.
Dots. That I cannot tell you. Most shades' tasks are closely guarded secrets. Well, making technology? Is that what he's doing with a rope hanging from a tree? Bloop. Give me a puzzle. Do it. He didn't do it. I'm terrible at my task. The worst. I'm even more terrible at following orders. One small misstep and it'll be my fault. We have a serious situation on our hands. I feel sick just thinking about it.
A serious situation? What kind of task do you have exactly?
I can't say. The only thing I can say is that I'm terrible at it. Why are you so nervous anyway? It's because she's watching. Always watching. She sits up there in her mansion and just keeps on watching.
Mansion? You mean the Great Witch lives nearby?
On the other side of the river. It's quite far, but she can see our every move.
So it's across the river, then?
Professor, we're sure to run into her again there. It's where she lives, after all. What sort of situation can we interfere with to cause a serious situation? I'm not telling you. That's fair.
The best course of action may be to try and make our way there. There are still many questions to be answered. Many puzzles to be solved, if you will.
Yeah, then we'll finally see if she's the real deal or not. Right, Professor?
That's right, Miss Fay. Let us make our way across. Okay.
But do you got puzzles, though?
He does not. Alright.
They're giving us so much map and no puzzles at all. Ba-boom. Red Flower Lake. Is that a puzzle? I'm sure it is. Check out the beautiful scenery, Professor.
This is quite an open space, isn't it? Looking across the river, the Great Witch's mansion is slightly visible.
Yeah, you can just about make out the roof from here. Hey, do you think the wall behind it could be Labyrinthia's outer wall?
That is quite possible. Which would mean these Eldritch Woods must be located directly outside Labyrinthia.
Huh? But isn't that kind of strange? The people in Labyrinthia said that nothing exists outside of the town, didn't they?
Yes, quite. I too have heard the townsfolk make such assertions. In fact, the very gate we used to enter Labyrinthia disappeared as soon as we passed it. I believe there must be some kind of a trick behind it.
It looks like we've quite a lot to discuss with Little Miss Great Witch, don't we?
That we do. Let us continue, Miss Fay.
Puzzle! Oh no, the bridge is out. It's been completely destroyed. All that remains are a few bits of debris and a small boat. Are you two looking for a way to cross the river?
Yes, that's right. Is there no other way to cross?
If there's a way across, I sure wish I knew what it was. I'm sort of having a mini crisis here. Why did I have to get stuck with the task of reporting the daily task progress to the Great Witch? Granted, I get to bask in the presence of the mistress and take in her gorgeous visage, which is actually pretty amazing. But being unable to cross the river, I can't even carry out my task now, let alone adore her unparalleled beauty. Oh well, you know what they say, you either sink or swim. Hope you brought your bathing suits, we're swimming across. I can't swim.
We'll have to find another way.
Wait a sec, Professor, can you not swim? It's okay, I bet you could flip your hat over and ride it like a boat. It looks like it could float on water real good.
Swimming has nothing to do with it, and I do not think using my hat as a boat would be the best idea, Ms. Fay. I'll go across and fetch that small boat. I should be able to jump across rather easily using the bits of debris on the water. I'll then be able to use the boat to create a path all the way across. Rest assured, Miss Fay, this is my specialty.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. You don't miss a beat, do you, Professor? Good luck! Bridge the gaps. Help the professor make a bridge for Maya by knocking the logs into the water. Oh, but they block my way once I do it, huh? Okay. Right? Am I... Oh, you know what? Did I have to... Yeah, see, I can't get to that one to do it. Alright, so I'm gonna do everything except for... Oh, yeah, the order is important. The order is very important, in fact. Wait, just kidding. Did I do it? No, I did not. A shade, Maya, and a bowl of ramen to ferry across 2 at a time. Easy puzzle. This has got to be like this, right? It's got to be. So that one's going to go down. This one's going to go up. Oh, it's still not... It doesn't like the... Okay. It was the same one as before. So if it's that corner one... What else... What else can we possibly do? I have to go like this? There's no way to connect them. And what do you mean ramen? Maya eats hamburgers. Pay attention. Don't you know the lore? It's gotta be like this. And then the only one that can reach that is this. And the only one that can reach that is this. And is that? This could... that could work. Okay. That's what it is. That was actually tricky.
I've already seen the answer.
There was something that appeared to be the correct answer in order to trick me into it. Great, Maya and the professor made it safely across. Oh, well, of course it's ramen in the original. Let's go get some burgers, Phoenix. Eat your hamburgers, Apollo. Yes, now I can give my mistress today's report. Thank you so much. I don't know how to repay you. It was no trouble. A broken bridge would be inconvenient to everyone, after all. By the way, what kind of tasks did the Great Witch give you two? I'm itching to know. Huh? What's our task? Let's see. Oh, that's it. We're puzzle solvers. Yep, that's right. Puzzle solvers. Of course, that makes sense. Well, you both performed your task magnificently. Please excuse me, I must report to the mistress. Hamburger. Hey, Odd Garrett is here. The chicken and the cabbage. Yeah, the riverboat with limited capacity, the sheep, the wolf, and the... sheep food. Whoa, he's really booking it. Man, we did something really good, huh, Professor?
Well, that we did, Miss Fay. Now, let us press on with our task.
Great Witch's Adobe. Oops. Oh, Mistress, Miss Beatrice!
Has something happened to the Great Witch?
I went up to her room, but there was no answer.
Oh, Beatrice.
It was, yes. But Odd Garrett wasn't here to see it. So you both get to do it. Maybe she's just not in the mood to talk. Everyone has their days. No, never. She would never do that. The mistress always answers us. Wow. I've got to say, I'm really surprised. It sounds like she's really faithful to you guys. Maybe she actually died over a year ago and is being covered up. Dun dun dun. If she stepped out, we would know. Oh, what could have happened to you, mistress?
That reminds me of a puzzle. No, that reminds me. She mentioned there was a visitor waiting for her, or words to that effect.
Then that visitor must still be waiting around for her, right? No, they are both inside the room. I've got it. Zvari, the supposed visitor, is really some shady ex-knight looking for revenge.
Ms. Fay, please refrain from putting any terrible scenarios into his head. Regardless, we must continue inside. It seems something rather serious is afoot.
A foot or a hoof? Ah, I thought you were a puzzle. Oh, venerable mistress, should some harm have befallen you, I don't know what I shall do. I just realized all of these people are, like, you can't see their face. I should be doing, like, my good voices, Danganronpa voices or something. Although I can't think of which one I would want. Mistress, please answer. Something, anything. If something were to happen to you, Whoa, everyone's really freaking out. Hey, maybe I should pretend to be Bizella. I can be all like, silence, minions.
Indeed. I wonder what could have happened here.
Maybe she turned her visitor into a gold statue. Hopefully this one doesn't lose an arm. Is this a puzzle? Come on, be a puzzle. Red flour, mix in, stir. Red flour, mix in, stir. Red flour. What? I'm out. No more stirring, no more mixing.
Are those not red flowers in the basket over there?
Red flowers. Yes, I'm restocked. Back to mixing, back to stirring.
This flower blooms just off the shore of the lake, does it not? It would seem that your task is to mix these red flowers into the pot. Is that right?
Red flour, mix in, stir. Red flour, mix in, stir. Boy, he's seriously concentrating so hard he can't even afford to have a conversation. How is mix in and stir two different steps? You could, all you needed one step. Stir continuously while putting in red flowers. Much easier. Wonderful weather today, wouldn't you say? Red flour, mix in, stir. Red flour, mix in, stir.
Ever the social butterfly, Miss Fay.
More caffeine. More oxygen. Why don't I get some plants or something? Get a little plant, a little tree, indoor tree. They make those, right? Oh, mistress, please answer. What could have happened?
Excuse me, but could you perhaps tell us what is going on here?
You mix it in with a whisk, and then you keep it in motion on the heat with a spoon or other utensil. Really? For flowers? Do you do that for flowers? We heard a loud noise from the mistress's room just a moment ago. We called out to her, but there was no answer. There was nothing. No answer at all. This isn't like her. A loud noise, huh? Maybe that was the sound of the Great Witch being attacked. No! To harm one as beautiful as her. What barbarian would do such a thing? But if she was attacked, then that means the attacker is still... Just thinking about it is making me shake in my robe. Alright guys, first things first, we've got to get this door open.
You're welcome to try, but we have already exhausted our options. You see, only the mistress has the key to this door. However, if something has happened, we had better hurry.
How terrifying. I mean, please help us. But how utterly terrifying. I can't go in the door? Or is the door above them? Is that the door up there? What? What? You, can you open the door? You, are you a puzzle? Wait, why are there no blue flowers on this side? My task is quite an important one. That's a ridiculously huge pot. I wonder what they're cooking in there. You! Stop! Do not interfere with my task. Ah! I'm sorry, I won't.
There appear to be two pots, each with a different substance being cooked.
Whoa, check that out, Professor. The color changed. How'd they do that?
While I agree that the change in color is rather particular, I'm more interested in its smell. I have a strange feeling I've smelled this very odor somewhere before.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does seem kind of familiar, doesn't it? Oh. Mix equal measures of blue and red. Is that a puzzle? I can't do it.
This shade's task is proving to be quite challenging for her.
Isn't her task to mix the red and blue liquids equally? Yes, they must be combined in equal measures, but no matter how many times I try, I cannot get it. Please, can you help me? That would be cheating.
I must admit I am quite fascinated by the mixing process at work here. Very well, let us give her a helping hand.
You were exactly right. There is... Fill the 8-liter With the top secret gluing potion, it takes equal measures of blue and red together to make the secret potion. So wait, they gave us 8 and 5 to start with. So do I have to keep the... Okay.